Content warning. This video discusses serious topics listed below on screen. I'm not going to read these words out because it might alert YouTube's systems. Viewer discretion is advised. Before I properly start this video, I want to make it clear to anyone from YouTube who may be watching this that I do not own this new YouTube channel that you're watching this video on. This channel is owned by a separate third party who is not me, who will remain anonymous. Right now, I am just the on-screen star of these videos. To my best understanding, this should make this channel immune from some of the restrictions placed on my old channel, which I will go into explaining later in the video. So now I'll go on to explain what happened to my Google account and my YouTube channel that was associated with that Google account. From my perspective, on the 2nd of March, I was alerted via a notification on my phone. For some reason, my Google account couldn't be signed into, so things weren't syncing like they usually do on my phone. Upon attempting to sign in on my phone, I was presented with this message. Again, I won't read this out loud due to the content of it, but please take the time to read what this yellow box says. So this message was very surprising and concerning to me. I was kind of disgusted to be accused of something like this. I want to make it very clear that I did not do this. You're kind of just gonna have to believe me here, because I don't have any proof that I didn't do it. It's kind of impossible to prove a negative, especially in this sort of situation, but I shouldn't have to prove this sort of thing to you. Like, this is the awful situation I've been put in by Google here. The fact this message exists instantly puts suspicion on me, right? But all I can say in response is, I didn't do this. I find this sort of accusation abhorrent and horrible, and it really did make me feel terrible for a couple of days after receiving it. Not just because my channel was gone, but just the content of this warning. I hope the fact that I've at least been transparent with you about this and not tried to hide it or anything is enough to sort of make it clear that I didn't partake in any content or any activity even remotely related to what is being said in this message. And still, over a month later, I still do not know what material or content or activity on my account may have triggered this. But I'm certain that it wasn't anything I did, because I don't know anything I did that could even be tangentially linked to that sort of behaviour. It's horrible. So the only thing I can think of is that there may have been some hacking involved by a third party. Although the security on my account was quite high, with, every measure I could think of in place, a very secure password, two-factor authentication, all that stuff. But that's all I can think of as to how this has been triggered. The alternative answer is that this was triggered by an AI system that misconstrued something on my account as offending content, but as I'll go on to discuss, that doesn't really make sense when there has been apparent human review in the loop here. If the AI got it wrong, then surely a human reviewer would be able to tell that the AI had got it wrong and then release my account to me. So, at this point, upon trying to sign into my account, I was given the opportunity to appeal the block placed on my account. When this happens for the particular thing that I was accused of, you get 2 chances to appeal. 2 chances to write something in this box to try and convince someone at Google to give you your account back. In this sort of situation, they hold all the power over your account and you have none. Not only do you only get 2 chances, this box, as I found out, has a character limit. I wrote out a big paragraph in Notepad on my computer and then tried to paste it into this box, and lo and behold, half of it did not get pasted into the box, because as well as giving you limited chances to appeal, they also give you limited characters to work with for your appeal. Really here, no matter what you say to the Google people, and I have to assume that it's humans who are reading this and not another AI system, but I really don't know. They have all the power and the ability to just say no and just keep your account blocked. No matter how much evidence you put in, or how much you plead your case, they get to be the ultimate arbiter on whether your account and everything attached to it, which in some cases can include some very important things, gets permanently deleted. So I appealed twice. I did both my appeal attempts. I told them what my understanding of the situation was, I told them that I had nothing to do with any potential activity on my account, and I said that I didn't even know what triggered this block in the first place. And of course, after all that, they decided to keep my account locked. Because, well, I didn't have any evidence, right? That's the thing. How are you supposed to have evidence that you didn't do something? How are you supposed to have evidence that there was hacking involved when you literally cannot access your account? I kind of felt like I was backed into a corner here, and all I could say was I didn't do it. If I was in a court of law, that wouldn't hold up, right? Here I had absolutely nothing to hinge my argument on. It's still crazy to me that Google, an almost $4 trillion company, doesn't have customer service that you can just talk to. There's no email you can contact, there's no phone number that you can call. It's almost like they've deliberately made it as hard as possible to get in touch with a real human at Google, to just have a conversation. Maybe they just don't want people voicing their opinions at them. Or, you know, maybe they just can't afford customer support. I mean, they are a very small indie company after all. The only conversation I had with anyone at Google were those appeals. Even then, it wasn't a back and forth conversation. It was me sending one message to them and them coming back to me with a negative. I didn't get to discuss it with them. So the next thing I did was I contacted YouTube support, thinking that, well, if I can't get my Google account back, maybe they could still recover the YouTube channel that was attached to the account. I did this through the method that generally works best, complaining on Twitter until someone at YouTube notices, which is definitely the most simple and best way to handle support there, YouTube. So they contacted me via email, and after a bit of back and forth, they basically came to the conclusion that my channel would stay terminated. They also told me that I wasn't allowed to create a new channel to evade this ban, which honestly is one of the worst parts of all of this. I've basically been entirely blacklisted from YouTube for no particular reason that I can see. They've given me a reason, but it wasn't anything I did. That's why I made that statement at the beginning of the video, because this channel is technically not owned by me, the person in front of the camera, so it kinda gets round that bit of the TOS. I shouldn't have to do any of this, but I have, as a precaution. I still don't know what the actual details of the offending activity actually was, if there was any. I have no idea if that activity was tied to my YouTube channel. But anyone I've asked who could remember anything from like the last few hours of my YouTube channel existing on the platform, no one has said that they saw anything amiss with the YouTube channel itself. It just disappeared with no fanfare. I have a feeling that this offending activity, if it exists, wasn't anything to do with the YouTube channel. Because it was the entire Google account that got blocked, right? Rather than just the YouTube channel. In theory, surely if it was just a infraction on the YouTube side of things, then only the channel would get terminated, not the entire Google account. That's what's making me think that it was originating from some other Google service, so like Google Drive or Gmail or something. But I still don't know exactly what it was. But that's the frustrating part. I don't know. I don't know, one, if there was any content or activity, and two, if there was, who did it, or what it even was. I understand that maybe they don't want to share that sort of information with anyone. It could be seen Google being complicit in the sharing of the sort of content that was in that original accusation. When you're someone like me who is innocent in all this, it's just a bit frustrating that I get no context as to what any of it was. But at this point, I've attempted multiple times through multiple different means to get back in touch with the YouTube support, in a vain attempt, I guess, to get them to reconsider the channel termination. At the time of recording, they have ignored 7 emails from me and multiple tweets. They did reply to one tweet recently, which gave me a glimmer of hope, but I've heard absolutely nothing from them after that. And at some point I had to just give up of ever reasoning with YouTube support and just move on to whatever I had to do next. The same as Google, they hold all the power and you have none. Additionally, I wanted to get some unbiased advice on this whole situation, and to do this I contacted Citizens Advice, which is a independent organisation here in the UK that focuses on giving genuine advice to help people without any sort of profit incentive or any agenda behind it. I didn't expect when I got in contact with them that they would be able to fix this issue, but I thought it was worth a shot since it was a door that was open for me. I asked them whether it was worth going to the police about this, or even contacting an ombudsman, which was something I hadn't actually heard of before talking to family about this whole situation. An ombudsman is an independent, impartial official who are supposed to investigate complaints against corporations, companies, and organisations in hopes of resolving these issues or maybe getting some compensation out of it. Long story short, Citizens Advice told me that unless I had evidence of any hacking or criminal activity on the account, there was nothing the police or an ombudsman could do. Because I no longer have access to the account, I have no evidence. And apparently, even if I did have evidence and took that to the police, there's no guarantee that Google would even listen to them. They still have the power, even if the police go to them, to just keep my account blocked. So I kind of thought it's not worth going to the police because I have nothing to show them that I haven't already shown Google. I have no additional evidence that paints me in an innocent light apart from just my word. They also said that ombudsmen in the UK have no power over Google in particular because they are not a UK company, which is just great. Isn't it great that we live in a world where these massive companies have power over law enforcement? It's just fantastic, isn't it? So all of this was not exactly what I wanted to hear, but it's what I expected to get back, basically. But now at least I had confirmation of my own suspicions about this from an impartial body, and that seemed to me like the extent of the different people and organisations that I could reach out to about this. Still very frustrated that YouTube support just ghosted me after sending me the email saying we're not giving your channel back. That's just the end of communications, it seems. Like they just don't want to deal with me anymore. For me, this account being deactivated has affected so many parts of my life, not just the YouTube channel, and it'll probably continue to have effects that I haven't even thought of yet. That email was connected to so many important things for me. It was linked to my bank, my doctor, my YouTube channel, of course. All of these things either got wiped or were severely affected in an instant by the account linked to them all being blocked. Luckily, with a lot of these things, I got to update the email, but for some things where you click sign in with Google, those accounts are just gone because I have no other way to sign into them. Pro tip, maybe don't click that sign in with Google button, perhaps just make the account separately. That might give you a little bit more control if anything like this ever happens to you. My YouTube channel was basically my sole form of income for a long time. I haven't talked about this much online because, you know, I kind of wanted to keep some privacy. I suffer from pretty bad social anxiety. You might not expect that from the way I come across on the videos, but, you know, this is a heightened version of me. I have control over what goes into these videos, so it doesn't make me that anxious to sort of be out there. But in real life, I do have quite bad social anxiety. Diagnosed social anxiety. I take medication for it. I've had therapy for it. This is a thing that I have. So this has made finding a job that works for me very, very difficult. More difficult than it already is to find a job in modern day. So the small amount I made from YouTube was kind of a lifeline for me. I receive payments from the government. Universal credit is what we call it in the UK. So that does come in. It's supposed to cover just like your basic living expenses, right? Like water bill, your electric bill, your food. It's just that. It's just the basics. You know, if I didn't have a lifeline of family or friends, then I probably would be in a lot of a much worse situation right now. But luckily, I do have a parent who I live with who was willing to maybe cover some of that cost. And even before all this, after doing the maths, the amount I got from Universal Credit and the YouTube combined would not have been enough for me to pay my half of all the living expenses. So, you know, with the YouTube part of it cut off, that's even less to sort of pay towards my upkeep, basically. If you can, I would greatly appreciate it if you could help me, either via Patreon or Ko-Fi. I have those two pages, they're still up. Please don't feel like you have to, though. You have to consider your own financial situation first. But it would be a great help if you could. It would keep me above water a little bit. I want to specifically thank the one person who has donated already, £40, which is crazy. I didn't expect this. I won't shout them out by name or anything, just for privacy reasons, but you know who you are. You're probably watching this if you're willing to donate that much to me. Thank you very much. Also, while I'm at it, before all this happened, I was about ready to launch commissions. Alongside the YouTube channel, I was gonna do commissioned work, and I was about to post this advertisement. I'm still open to do this now, so if you're interested, there's an email at the bottom there. I might not be able to get back to you for a couple of weeks after this video goes out, but that's an option. Technically, both Google and YouTube are well within their rights to not reinstate either of my accounts. Even if I could somehow prove that I've done nothing wrong, you sign away that right to ownership of your own account when you agree to the terms and conditions of these services. Yeah, they can, without warning, and for whatever reason, they don't even have to give you a reason if they don't want to, they can just delete your account. So really, you as a user of these services are powerless. The thing is with YouTube is they sort of have a monopoly on the online video space, right? So like, where else am I going to go? Vimeo? Can you even earn money on Vimeo? I don't know. You're sort of locked in if you want to be a video creator online to using YouTube. I urge you, as someone who's been through this now, back up as much data as you can on your own local storage. Do not rely on cloud storage like Google Drive or Dropbox or OneDrive, whatever it might be, as your only form of backup. It can just be taken away from you. Write things down. Keep copies of files locally on your disk. Maybe even keep a second backup on a second hard drive in case the first hard drive fails. Do not store anything you hold even a little bit important solely on these cloud-based storage systems owned by these massive corporations who can delete them at any time. I had countless scripts, spreadsheets, and other documents stored in my Google Drive, and some of which were projects I'd spent countless hours working on, and they're now just gone. For example, the script for the Ultimate Helix Iceberg, which I had teased quite a few times, is just gone, and I have no copy of it. I realise now I should have kept a copy of it, but how was I supposed to foresee this? I didn't know this was going to happen. And a cool bonus fact here, because of the particular crime that I've been accused of by Google, wrongly, obviously, I'm not allowed to download any of my account data. So usually if a block is placed on your account for any other reason, they at least give you the ability to download your account data. And I assume in Google's case it would include stuff like your Google Drive files. Makes sense in some way, because if there is offending material on your account, they wouldn't want you downloading that. As far as I'm concerned, there wasn't any offending material. There's so much material on there that was so important to me. I think this system needs to change somehow. I don't know how. I don't have an answer to this because massively complicated, and that's getting into like, you know, laws and stuff, which I don't have the capacity or knowledge to even like talk about. But innocent people shouldn't be able to have their accounts wiped in an instant from something that they didn't do. There needs to be some sort of governing body over these massive corporations that, like, holds them to account or helps the user out in some way. And I understand that these precautions are put in place to protect people. Like, stopping activities such as the type I've been accused of is very important. I don't want Google's services to be used for genuine activity like this, and I totally stand by that stance forever. But people like me, and especially someone who took care and attention to keep the security on my account as tight as possible, and someone like me who had a YouTube channel with 11,000 subscribers connected to that account, shouldn't be able to just get caught up in the crossfire like this. So, what's next then? Well, this channel you're watching this video on is a new channel now, a totally separate channel to the old one, not connected to any of my information, owned by someone who isn't me, therefore, in theory, allowing me to continue making videos, especially in my case where I haven't actually done anything to deserve this block. I believe I should be able to make videos for you. Why should they just randomly be deleted off YouTube servers? It's quite literally my favourite thing to do. It's what I do. I know that's not how it works, as I've already explained, and YouTube reserves the right to terminate anyone's channel at any time. Morally, it feels like I've been wronged here. It feels like I should be able to continue making videos, so I'm going to try and re-upload my previous work, maybe with some small edits. I'm still worried that maybe YouTube's systems can detect videos that they deem should be deleted, or perhaps videos that were connected to terminated channels. I have seen other people upload terminated channels videos and not be taken down, and especially in my case where there's no content in the videos themselves that breaks the terms of service, I'm hoping it's fine. As I record this, I've had quite a lot of my videos uploaded onto YouTube on this channel you're watching this on, unlisted. Nothing has been flagged on them, so I'm hoping that when I make them public, nothing will change. Some of the videos I made in the past were made in specific contexts, so a lot of them were updates on like Deltarune and Silksong and even Hylix, so they really aren't relevant anymore. They were made in a specific time when certain news came out. So I might just not re-upload those for now, maybe I'll do those later on. But I think I'll stick to what I consider are the most important videos first. And hey, if there is any silver lining on this terrible cloud, maybe it's the fact that I can go back and change the titles and thumbnails to make them more clickable. But I think that's it. That is what happened. So all I can do now, I think, is carry on with this new channel like I was before. And let's hope I can at least get back to somewhere close to where I was before. I guess the first goal here will be to regain monetization, as that is not something that you automatically start with when you make a YouTube channel. You have to have a certain amount of watch time and subscribers. So please subscribe if you haven't already. It feels weird to sort of say that at the end of a video like this, but it would genuinely immensely help me getting to that point where I can start, earning a living again. Google and YouTube took away a living from a vulnerable person who has anxiety, who cannot find a regular job. As I've already said, supporting on Patreon or Ko-Fi would be a great help, but you don't have to. Subscribing here on this new channel I've made would be a big help as well. And I hope this has taught you, and it's definitely taught me, to don't put any trust in these massive corporations, because they don't owe you anything. See you in I'll see you in the re-uploaded videos, and then hopefully some new ones.